What's up everyone, I'm Gushy and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be going over Superman. As of making this video, Superman is free to play right now and I highly recommend trying him out. Out of all the characters I've played, Superman has probably the best kill confirm options, giving him the opportunity to make some amazing comebacks as well as getting kills super early. So in this video we're going to be going over the best way that I found to play Superman. We'll first be going over his moves and which ones are best in certain situations. Next we'll be going over some combos. There's honestly not many because there's only basically one that I use the most. And then finally we're going to be going over some gameplay. I'll be talking through my thought process so you guys know which moves I'm making and why I'm making them. Before I start, if you found this video helpful, definitely check out our Multiversus playlist as we have other guys just like this. So without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with Superman's aerial attacks. Gonna be honest, all of them kind of suck, with the exception being forward air. Some of them can be charged, but the range is just so bad. So unless you're using them for combos, I only really recommend doing forward air. Unlike the other air attacks, Superman's forward air has an active hitbox, making it last a lot longer and making it easier to land those attacks. Doing a short hop to forward air is a really good approach option, and keep this move in mind because it is an awesome combo starter. Next is his forward tilt or jab combo. Just like his forward air, this move is an active hitbox, making this move one of his best tools. The range isn't the longest, but again, because all throughout the animation, this hitbox is just active, making it a lot easier to land. Once you try this move out in fights, you'll kind of get a sense of how strong it is. It kind of feels like this move has priority over enemy attacks, but again, it's because it has an active hitbox all throughout the animation. Not only that, this is actually one of your best damage options. If we land the full combo string, we can rack up 18%. Now in most cases you won't be landing this full combo, but if you can land a hit, the rest of the combo is almost guaranteed. Alright, moving on, we're going to go over Superman's tilts. Most of Superman's tilt options can be charged up. They honestly don't do much damage, but it's an important tool because it has armor, and because you could charge it, you can actually time your attacks to get more consistent hits. So his forward tilt has the most range, and the one I probably use the most. Up tilt is a really good option if you notice enemies are fighting more vertically while approaching in the air. Down tilt I honestly don't use that much, but keep in mind it does have some armor rake, so just an awesome tool if you're fighting off against another armored character. Now like I said before, these moves don't rack up too much percent. Even at full charge, the up tilt only does 8%, the forward tilt does 10%, so I'd say these aren't the best kill options, but it's really for tanking through enemy attacks, because of course Superman is a tank character, but is really useful against those rushdown characters. Moving on to his special attacks. The ground up special, if landing all 3 hits, does only 14%, but again does have that armor at the beginning of the animation. In all my time playing Superman, I really haven't landed all 3 hits of that combo, so don't really expect to land it for damage, but I think it's a really good mix-up option. As I go for up tilts, I try to mix up these in to change up the timing, and sometimes the downward smash does catch enemies off guard. Next is the ground side special. This move right here is your best tool for kill confirms. There's other really flashy options, but I found that this move is the safest and fastest. Now if you hold this move down, you can aim where you're gonna hit, as shown on screen. What's great is that the enemy actually cannot see this reticle and can't see where you're aiming. Once you release the attack, you'll fly to that location, and this move has a decent amount of range. This does 15% and has some crazy knockback. I'd say about 75% of my KOs has been with this move, so I definitely recommend practicing, getting used to the movement of your opponent, and getting the timing down to land this move more often. This last example, I KO'd this Batman at 85%, and I wasn't even off the stage. So yeah, again, just practice this move. Alright, moving on to his side special. In the air, you fly a certain amount of distance, and if you catch enemies, you can throw them. Again, this move is an active hitbox, so it is a lot easier to land. This is going to be your primary recovery option, and honestly a really good ledge guard option too. I'd say this is worse than the ground side special because it's a lot slower, and enemies can easily hit you from the top or the bottom. In this clip, I actually get 2 side specials off, easily KOing LeBron as it's very far off the stage. Before anyone says this in the comments, yes, this is against bots, because this is actually the best way to complete that challenge where you have to ring out players at the edge of the map or while you're off the edge. So if you have that challenge, Superman is your best option, using both the aerial and the ground side B. I also like to use this move after you KO an opponent. Once an enemy respawns in after they get KO'd, they actually don't have much invincibility frames, so I like to throw that side special out. And again, because it's an active hitbox, you can sometimes get immediate damage right when they spawn in. Next up is the aerial up special. This move is probably one of the most cheesiest KO options if you can land it. Since naturally you're going up while doing your up special, you can then throw your opponent in any direction, which optimally is up again, and get some really early KOs. Now at earlier percents this is definitely not going to KO, but really the higher up you could land this move, the lower the percent it can KO. So in this case, if you get enemies up in the air, land a normal up air, and then followed up with a special up air, this gives some extra distance, in this case KOing Shaggy at 15%. So just like your aerial side special, the up special is another really great kill option. I always try to throw it out there just in case. Sometimes it catches enemies off guard. Once you land it, enemies kinda catch on. Finally is the down special. On the ground, down special gives you armor, where you laser the ground, and if it hits it knocks enemies up into the air. On the ground it does 6 damage, and because there's a slight delay you can actually combo this with other moves, but honestly I don't use it that much. In the air it's basically the same thing, but it does not give you armor, but it does a little bit more damage at 9%. Alright, moving on to the combos, and there's only one that I use, and this is the side air to side tilt. Because of the active hitboxes on both moves, for the most part if you're spacing correctly and facing the right direction, more likely than not you'll land this move. Keep in mind that Superman is a very horizontal character. His most powerful moves, the side Bs both in the air and the ground, for the most part hit horizontally. And because his aerials, besides his up special, are kind of bad, I found that a very grounded playstyle benefits Superman a lot more. Again, as you use this forward air, you want to be doing it with a short hop, so you're not in the air that much. If enemies throw an attack at the same time above you or below you, because this move does not have the longest range, sometimes moves can outspace you. And of course, if enemies try to approach in the air above you, you do have that charged up tilt, which has that armor so you can easily repel them. Alright, finally let's head into some gameplay. I've already told you which moves I use the most, but now you can see how I mix them up. The moves that you do really depend on the playstyle of your opponent, and as you use certain moves, you could honestly influence the way the opponents play, and definitely change the pace of the game to fit your playstyle. So this first game is against Harley, and Harley is an amazing combo character. So I always try to start off fights with the forward air to the forward tilt. Again, that does the most amount of damage, but because Harley is just way faster, I'm kind of getting wrecked in the beginning over here. She gets me almost to 80% before I can get hit off, and at this point, because she's faster, I need to start going for more of those charge tilts. With that armor I can get attack priority, and so the reason why she's getting a lot of free hits is because she's whiff punishing me. This means that after I finish a move and I miss, she's capitalizing on the end lag after a move finishes and I can't move. Right here, Harley gets a couple of juggles and KOs me. I really want to showcase this match because, again, Superman is a great comeback character. No matter how far behind you are in a fight, you can always come back. In these cases, Superman's dodge is really helpful. His dodge covers a decent amount of distance and is extremely fast. So anytime I miss a move, I either try to jump up out of the way or dodge so I don't get punished. I bait Harley in with the charged up tilt, followed up with that up special, and boom, I'm back in the game. When she spawns in, I always go for that side special. She's smart and dodges it, but again, it's a great option. As I get knocked off the stage, again that side special is a good recovery option. That active hitbox is just so useful. Now as I land 2 charged up tilts, she's definitely backing up some more and playing more passively. To mix things up, I use the up special. And because it kind of looks like the up tilt, the downward attack actually catches her off guard. And this is a very good mix-up option, especially since I got that attack DK before using that up tilt a little bit too much. And honestly, here is when the tides turn. As I charge up for more tilts, she is definitely playing back a lot more. She spaces out a little bit too much, making it a lot more difficult for her to whiff punish. Now this is great because it opens up the opportunity to now use the side special. This actually changes up the range of my attacks. The charge forward tilt doesn't have much range, but mixing up the side special changes that up a little bit. So again, another variation to the horizontal attacks, just like we had variations to the vertical attacks, mixing up the up tilt and the up special. As she slows down her playstyle, I'm free to actually go in a lot more, going back to the forward air to forward tilt combo, really mixing up if I play at ranged or if I quickly go in to get more damage. Again, that forward tilt just racks up a bunch of percent, And as she gets knocked back further and further, the higher percent she has, those grounded side specials become a lot more effective, and I KO her at 97%. Again, Harley is one of the lightest characters in the game. Along with how powerful that move is, Superman is just always a threat and always has amazing kill potential. I really want to highlight that game because it was like really good comeback. And yo, this Harley was level 22. That person was definitely playing their main. But hopping into this next match, it's actually against the same person, but in this case, they're playing Batman. Batman is probably even higher on the meta tier list. I kind of skipped towards the end of the fight. Again, we're coming from behind. Batman has a lot of tools to fight close range, as well as getting damage at range. Again, as you watch me get owned a little bit, you can see how important Superman's dodges are. If you're getting comboed or in a disadvantaged situation, his jump and dodges are your #1 tool to get out. In most cases, the charge attacks are my best option. That charge forward tilt is good against his grapple, and if Batman wants to engage in the air, my up tilt is also countering that. However, the battering is the main problem. That forward tilt does make it so I don't get knocked back, but I'm still racking up percent. In this case, I do need to play a little bit more aggressive, so I'm using those dodges to get in and also land those forward airs, always followed up with an up tilt or a forward tilt, just so I can armor through some of his attacks that he likes to follow up with. As I land 2 massive forward tilts, both countering that grapple. He tries for more of a close playstyle, and as he rushes in, gets a little bit too close, I land a massive up tilt, finally KOing him. Here again, those charge attacks are super powerful, but I try to weave in a couple of side specials, again to change up that horizontal range of attacks. And surprisingly, it's kind of good at avoiding some of his attacks as well. Again, I wanted to stress the importance of that side special. Once I knock Batman off the stage, I try to spam that as much as possible. That knockback is just way too much to not use. And here we finally get him into his defenses as he tries to land back on the stage. I'm really taking control of mid-stage, making it a lot easier to edge guard. The mix-ups of side tilt and side special are so much of an annoyance. So much so that he opts to jump off the stage a little bit just to avoid the attack. Finally, as he lowers his defenses, 2 side specials are enough to finish him off. With that, I hope you guys learned something in this video. I'd say Superman is kind of cheesy with his moves, but honestly, that's what makes him strong. That comeback potential, especially with his very, very good kill options, is really what puts him up higher on the tier list. But let me know, what do you guys think about Superman? Do you think he's a cheesy character? Do you find him annoying to play against? I think because the rest of his kit is kind of junk, this is actually a decent balance between 2 different playstyles. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. Again, check out our Multiversus playlist if you're interested in learning about other characters as well. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace.